Hey, beautiful people, we are back and we are here. Want to talk about now, I know we talked about how we are and we're still going to be talking about how we are because there's a lot of juice and there's a lot of things going on. But as part of who we are and how we're doing, COVID has been the biggest thing for everybody in this whole world. We can't deny it unless we lived under a stone. Furthermore, if you lived under a stone, I'm sure you would have been hit by COVID. But anyway, that being said, COVID has come. It's kind of trying to say it wants to leave, but they've lifted the COVID restrictions in the UK officially now. How do we all feel about it? What is it looking like? Let's not even go into Partygate, because Partygate's it's another thing on its own. Yeah. But how do we feel about the COVID restrictions being lifted, and what does that look like in our lifestyles? Like, Steph, what does that look like to you?
I think it was a bit rushed, I think, from the way just like, they're taking the max mandate off and they're taking, everyone can get on the bus, can get on the train. It's, you don't have to work from home anymore. I think personally, I actually loves when it was, we had the restrictions, because I think COVID is still right there. People are still being affected every day. And I think I'm quite worried. Maybe there's no reason for it. I think I'm hoping there's not another sort of big, what's it called?
Outbreak
again. So I think they'd be rushed. I think they would have done it a bit slower. But I think things are looking like they're okay.
How many weeks is it now since they've lifted it?
I think about 2-3 weeks, right?
Okay, yeah.
For personally, I actually liked it when we had the work from home, man. Because I can work from home, and because of the things I'm doing, it sort of works for me. It works for my life. It works for I have my target for this year, and working from home actually helps me get to that target. But yeah, I think that's it for me.
Auntie Data, you obviously, as you said, what you do for a living. How does that work when you was, doing from COVID? Obviously, you had your normal before COVID, which was out and about. Then it's in COVID, and then now lifting the restrictions. How have you been able to adjust to that? And have your clients been able to adjust to that as well, do you think?
Most of them, no. So working from home has been okay, but I think there's a different feel when you have the human contact. When you're in the same space with your fellow human beings. We're social animals. We thrive, and we're happy when we're around people more than in the screen, looking at people in the screens. I think for different seasons, it'll depend the window where you're looking from. Some days you'll feel like thank God this thing is over. And I would like to think of it as being over. I'm hoping that we won't have any more outbreaks or whatever. But do I like what's the question is, how do I feel about the restrictions being taken away? I want to ask a question, reply with a question. Okay, would it have been better if the world remained in lockdown, what's the word? Forever.
Forever, yeah. Definitely.
We can't remain in lockdown forever. And I know we're going to talk about Boris Johnson at some point, but in many, many ways, I'm happy he's the kind of person he is. And he just says it and and it happens. I know I don't want to offend anybody. Please forgive me. But yeah, we can't remain in lockdown forever. Come on. People were dying of loneliness. People were, missing loved ones. And those things count. That's what makes life.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that window, even though you enjoy, being by yourself for a season, you want to also mix for a season. There is joy in mixing. There's joy in solitude. There's time for everything. I mean, even when you're mixing, there's also the opportunity to decide to take yourself away for some time if you need to. So we've been forced to be taken away. It's not normal.
Yeah, I suppose. And, they've lifted the restrictions, but no one said that you had to not be in lockdown. Like, if you personally wanted to be in lockdown, you personally want to walk around with a mask, if you personally still want to observe all of the different conditions that were put in place, no one's saying you shouldn't.
Yeah, but don't take it away from everybody, especially for those that, need to come out so that they can leave. And I mean, we've come out, let's leave, And I think COVID, it's got it from everything we've been hearing. It may end up being like flu. So it's going to be there. And come on, lockdown. I mean, no disrespect to people who are very edgy about this, but I personally am happy we're out of,
Can I mention just one thing? I think one thing lockdown has done is changing the scope of work. So now people are not, you don't have to be in the work 5 days a week. And that's what I enjoyed. Like most employers are now very relaxed.
I enjoyed that as well.
Working. And that's the thing, I think one of the blessing that it's given is changed everything. I think there are companies where they are now even implementing 4 days work week, not 5 days anymore.
5 days.
So I think that's a huge thing that the COVID or the situation, that's like one of the benefits.
Yeah.
I know there's no benefit, but that's one of the things that have come out of it, that you don't have to be in the office to work. You can work from home, you can work from anywhere.
It is a benefit, really.
Yeah, it's a benefit. That's one of the things that it's changed the whole working landscape.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of productivity coming from their staff members.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of companies, before we went into lockdown, they were very antsy about it because they were like, we can't do this because it's obviously something they're not used to. But my takeaway from it during COVID was that if companies could survive during COVID, fam, and you didn't need to pay the overheads that you were paying,
I was
the
just
rents
going
and stuff
to
like that.
say that, yeah.
If you can't learn from that and put that into practice for your company, it's very dangerous. But companies that can learn from that, you're going to do so well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cordelia, how do you feel about the restrictions being lifted?
To simply answer is that I feel good about it.
She's like waving the flag.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the restrictions being lifted. Of course, at the beginning, it made sense that we should be on lockdown because it was this new thing. It's killing people. We didn't know what it was. We needed to understand it, how it works and how it affects us. And I felt it got to that point where we understood it. And I think for me, one thing that wasn't sitting well is where, for example, where we knew like a huge amount of the population have already contracted COVID. So why are we still going through a lot of these restrictions? Because it's like Data said, it's not something we can't be on a lockdown indefinitely. You know, we have to find a new sense of normal. So I'm happy that we're finally there, and that the options are there if you want to go to the office, for example, work-wise. We always talk about work. But work-wise, if you want to go to work, you want to be in the office, you have the option if you want to stay home. I enjoy both. You know, I'm generally like a loner. I'm just one of those people. I'm happy being at home. I'm happy being by myself and doing stuff on my own. But being back at the office and just interacting with people again, that's been absolutely beautiful. Going to like having drinks after work, you know, that's something you realize, oh my God, it's actually nice. I miss this. So thank you, Boris. Thank you.
I add something though. The week that they announced that we were coming out of lockdown, I think it was the Partygate. I know we're going to talk about Partygate later. So I don't know if the decision to lift lockdown was actually genuine. I think it was more to. It was more of for me. I thought it was more of a distraction to take the pressure off.
I
Some
agree.
certain people. So
I agree. I question that decision as well, because you think, where is that coming from? Are you trying to divert the attention? Because that will make us happy. But at the same time, personally, I feel like it's about time I think we're there, you know, where we can now get into that new sense of normalcy or whatever it is.
So before we go on break, I'm just going to throw a curveball into this. We've lifted the restrictions in the UK. I can't say about other countries, but in the UK, and we've all expressed how we feel about it. And yeah, I'm for it as well, by the way.
Just to throw that in.
How would you feel as a curveball? How would you feel if our current leadership turns around and says, hold up, there's been a change. There's issues with the numbers. We need to go back and it's going to be tighter or whatever. Just before we go on to break, how would you feel about this curveball coming into place?
I'm going to say something, but I'm going to laugh. I'll first say there's a word that you... I'm not going to say it, sorry. But
there's a beep on the screen right now. Okay.
Genuinely, I would feel like they're just a bunch of... I would question if they know exactly what they're doing.
Cordelia, please save her before... Save us.
I mean, it would bother me, but... No, okay, let's go. Let's do it again.
So you're easy going with the flow of whatever they say?
I am, because that's how it's been in the past 2 years anyway. 1 minute we're locked down, next minute we're out. And the Prime Minister has never been very kind of direct about what they really want us to do. It's like, maybe, if, whatever. So I'm just like, whatever. If you have that attitude and, you know, matching energies, mate, let's go with that energy.
Okay.
So yeah,
I feel like I shouldn't ask you, but I feel like I have to. Why
Actually, you are
No,
on the show.
because
Come
I'm
on.
just like, I can feel the pressure coming.
I was gonna bounce off what she
Okay.
was saying now because it almost feel like, you know, we don't know. Boris Johnson doesn't know what tomorrow holds. He doesn't know what the next hour holds. Boris Johnson is not God.
Yes.
You know, so we don't know how we would feel too, because we don't know how it would present. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know how I feel. Though.
We know. We know. Let me pacify you, small.
Oh my goodness.
We know. And yes, what Stephanie has said is definitely a bane of contention. I'm sure a lot of people are right now going, yeah, throwing things at the screen like, yeah, it's true. Yeah. So let's all calm
Hopefully
down for
not.
a second.
Hopefully
Yeah.
not, though.
We really
that
do
tells
pray
me
it
I
doesn't
feel
happen.
like I don't want it. Of
Yeah,
course, I don't
it
want
would
it.
hurt,
Really, I
though.
don't. It would throw us out of balance.
Yeah.
But
I think it comes to that age-old
Whatever.
thing that, you know, when you have something, it's only when someone tells you can't do it that you're bothered about it. Like, I'm very much like Cordelia. I love staying in my house. I love being at home. But if you tell me I have to, what are you telling me? You understand? So, you know what I mean? So it's a different one. So, guys, we're going to be back. These breaks are coming, but you can see we are getting hot. I know it's getting hot in here because I'm feeling the heat
Yes.
right now. Please, I'm going to try and come back because I can feel like Static is going to get me on the break. So see you in 2.